Hello everybody and welcome back to another Scavengers video. Now, early access is almost upon us, so I wanted to make a video for all of the newcomers, highlighting some key things that I had wished I'd known when I first started playing during the early playtests. For those new to Scavengers, hopefully these tips will help you hit the ground running. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all Scavengers videos, and go ahead and follow me on Twitch, link down below, to catch some live gameplay. I will be streaming on day one, so make sure to stop in and let me know what you think of the video. Now with that being said, let's get into it. Tip number 1. Prioritize survival over everything in the beginning. Surviving means that you keep all resource packs found during the match, and this is what will give you valuable resources needed for research, which will in turn unlock better items for you to add to your loadout. Winning is definitely good, but it is a risk-reward scenario that you're going to have to weigh out for yourself. I know personally, I'm going to want to research as much as I can, as fast as I can, so I can start building beefier loadouts. Number 2 is a very simple one. Check the minimap when you first spawn and you will see a pistol on your map. This is a marked weapon chest that is just for you. You're going to want to go ahead and open this. It'll give you a weapon, whether that be melee or a firearm. This is one thing that I had not known when I first started, and there were a few matches where I ended up without a weapon in the beginning and it was a little rough. Now, I know it might seem silly, but this is pretty easy to miss if you're new to the game. Now, number 3 is a big one, and this is something that experienced players have already realized, and it's what allows them to get ahead so quickly. What you're going to want to do in the beginning of the match is split up from your team. This allows you to accumulate more data points and scrap across the board, and is actually much safer than it sounds. Now, because of how the respawn system works in this game, you are actually better off on your own, because as long as one of your teammates is alive when you die, and they stay alive until your respawn timer reaches 0, you will respawn and only lose half of your data points. This makes soloing a viable option and team fights a lot riskier. Number 4 is a quick one. You can roll using the middle mouse button. It is mentioned in the keybinds menu, but I do not believe they say anything about it in the tutorial. And whether or not rolling gives you iframes, I'm not too sure of, but it can get you out of a tricky situation at the cost of some stamina. Number 5. Holster your weapon to move faster. This is going to give you that little speed boost that you need to cover ground quickly and get from point A to point B. Number 6 is something that I know the community holds near and dear to their heart. Sliding downhill gives you a nice speed boost without consuming any stamina. Number 7, you will not show up on the radar if you are sliding, if you are crouched, if you are in a building, or if you are in a storm. Number 8, crouching while shooting reduces recoil. Now personally, I don't think that recoil in this game is too big of an issue, but if you do find yourself struggling, try crouching before you shoot. Number 9, shooting right after reloading has an accuracy penalty. This is something that they added after the last playtest, and I'm not sure how big of an impact it will have, but it is something to be cognizant of. Number 10, another big one here, craft your armor first. You can have the best weapon in the game, but that will not help you if you're still rocking white armor in mid-game or blue armor in endgame. Make sure you prioritize crafting your armor if you can help it. Number 11, and I think this one is definitely more of a personal opinion, and I'm sure some community members might not agree, but storing your data points, in my mind, is not worth it most of the time. The time that you will spend uploading is time that others are using to collect data points, and if you're neck and neck with another team and you stop to store your data points, then that is time wasted. If you really want them stored and you cannot help it, I think you should give them to one person on your team who has good defensive capabilities and send them to upload them on their own while the other 2 teammates go and collect more. Number 12, there have been some recent changes to how vehicles work, making it so that bullet damage received by the vehicle is also distributed to every player inside, meaning if you're in a car and I shoot the car, you will take damage regardless of if I hit you or the vehicle. Number 13, you can only carry 1,000 scrap at any given time, so do not be afraid to use it, and this sort of plays into what I mentioned earlier about making sure that you always craft the highest tier of armor available. Last but not least, number 14, killing animals and interacting with berry bushes will give you rations. Now, when you first do this, you'll either see raw meat or berries on the ground, but once you pick them up, they will automatically be converted to rations that you can then eat to regain your max stamina. And folks, there you have it, some tips to help you hit the ground running once early access starts for Scavengers. Go ahead if you like the video and subscribe down below, and check me out on Twitch. Day 1, I will be streaming. I will see you then. Until next time.